Starborn. Remember, to be a star, you have to shine your own light, follow your own path, and not worry about the darkness, because that's when stars shine brightest. And we are talking about a lot of light in the sky, because if you've been looking at our website, starborninstitute.org, you would already know that the title of tonight's show is A Clash of Wills. And that is because this weekend we are having a full moon, our second one of the month, at 11 degrees of Libra. And Libra does rule harmony and balance and peace and partnership and love and marriage. And above all, it rules legal contracts and the law. And so that gentle moon in that very peace-loving sign is great, but there still will be a clash of wills, because even though the full moon is in Libra, the dominant planets are in earth signs. And that is because Venus has just changed into Taurus, the sign that it rules. And Taurus is a fixed earth sign, and it is a financial sign. Venus is now trining three other planets in earth signs: Mars, which is exalted in Capricorn; Saturn, which is the ruler of Capricorn; and Pluto is also in Capricorn. So the harmonious trine of these four strong planets can indicate that the titans of industry and top management in large corporations or government agencies can be wanting to surge forward right now. And they can all be in agreement about wanting to make a lot of money or to work hard. And they can be solely dedicated to money and to jobs and to power, particularly their own power. And yet there's still going to be a clash of wills, because there are 7 planets in a harsh T-cross among the cardinal signs. That gentle full moon in Libra is opposing the sun in Aries, and also Mercury is in Aries, but it's retrograde or going backward. And then Uranus, that planet of sudden change, volatility, and surprise, is in Aries as well. These 4 planets, which are harshly opposing each other, are in a little bit of trouble. And that is because the dominant planets in Capricorn, Mars, Saturn, and Pluto, are squaring the full moon in Libra, and they are also squaring the 3 planets in Aries, the Sun, Mercury, and Uranus. So these planets in Capricorn, which are so powerful, and remember, Mars and Saturn are malefic planets. I mean, they really mean business. They are not lighthearted planets at all. They can be creating a clash of wills. And that is because so many different people have different viewpoints. What could their different viewpoints lead to? Well, for instance, that full moon in Libra certainly can emphasize balance and harmony and fairness. And it can represent negotiation and diplomacy. It certainly can represent the arts. And as I said, love and peace and partnership and marriage and all legal contracts, and above all, adherence to the letter of the law. So that's all favorable, except that there aren't any other planets in the air signs. In other words, there's nothing in Gemini and there's nothing in Aquarius. So there is nothing supporting that full moon in Libra. It's sort of on its own right now, and it's sort of taking a beating in this harsh T-cross among cardinal signs. And then the planets in Aries that are opposing the full moon, they are the Sun and Mercury, which is retrograde, and Uranus, are emphasizing people with freedom-loving, somewhat rebellious attitudes. They can want to charge forward and do things all their own way. After all, Aries is the sign of the pioneer. So they may not be willing to listen to anything that has to do with compromise, simply because they want to do things their way. However, there are no planets in the other fire signs. There's nothing in Sagittarius, and there is nothing in Leo to support the planets in Aries. So they're on their own too. However, Mars, Saturn, and Pluto in Capricorn are not only very, very strong planets, but they are being supported by another planet, and that is that Venus in Taurus. And so they can be representing people who simply want to charge forward and who want to only focus on money and jobs and power. And it can be that they want to not be at all concerned with a clash of wills. In other words, they don't care what other people's viewpoints are. They know what they want to concentrate on. And so they can be causing havoc with people who are law-abiding and people who are independent thinkers, somewhat rebellious or freedom-loving. But they may not care about that, because after all, what this dominance in earth signs represents is that there are people now who want to work together to consolidate their power so that they can make more money. And yet it's got to be done in allegiance to the law, because after all, the full moon is in Libra, and that's what Libra rules. So as long as the titans of industry and people in top management are law-abiding and honest, then what they want could be good for all of us as well. I mean, we could stand to earn more money too, so that might be great. But at the same time, a disaster could be building if they are not honest and law-abiding. And that is what we have yet to see, whether they are or whether they're not. All right, what does this clash of wills mean to all 12 of the sun signs? Well, Aries, for you, I think that you're going to have to knuckle under a little bit right now, Aries. And the reason why is that there are so many planets that are in harsh aspect to your sun sign. And what that means for you, since Mercury is retrograde in your sun sign, Aries, is that you're going to have to endure some sort of revision to a plan. Because whenever Mercury goes retrograde or backward on its orbit, it is a better time to tie up loose ends or finish something or double check everything to make sure you haven't missed anything. And so I think that you will have to revise some new plan or idea of yours, since Mercury is going retrograde, and it'll stay retrograde until the middle of April. And so you need to reconsider something, Aries. Another problem is that the full moon is opposing your sun sign, so there is an insistence on following the letter of the law. You'll have to do that. And Mars, your own ruler, Saturn and Pluto in Capricorn are squaring the 3 planets in your sun sign. So there is some sort of royal standoff or challenge in your life right now, Aries, and I don't think you can win it. And so this would be a better time to sort of try to develop a plan B or simply revise your plans, and at all costs, you should try to be as quiet and low profile as you can, because you're really facing too many challenges right now. And I wouldn't advise you to get caught up in the clash of wills. Nobody's going to win that. Okay, what does it mean to a Taurus? Well, Taurus, congratulations. Venus, your own ruler, has just come into your sign, and it is trining that Mars, Saturn, and Pluto in Capricorn. And so with Venus in your sign, Taurus, you can certainly be in the mood for love, or you can certainly be in just a much better mood, a more agreeable mood right now. And that's good because you may want to try to settle a financial matter in a little more agreeable way. And I would suggest that you do that, because after all, Jupiter in Scorpio is opposing Venus in your sign. These are the 2 best planets in the heavens, and they are not in happy aspect to each other. They're in fixed financial signs, and they're opposing each other. And so there does have to be a financial matter that might concern someone else's money that you're associated with, and that has to be fixed, but it could be a little bit tough for you to do unless you really turn on the charm, Taurus, which you can do now. And also you could be very serious about your long-term prospects and security. And so it might be a good idea for you to dedicate yourself just to working very hard right now, and sort of try to think that it will help you down the road. So you may not get everything you want right now, particularly financially, but you could get a very good opportunity to increase your security, and it might be by just staying where you are and just doing a really good job. So give that a try. Okay, what does it mean to a Gemini? Well, Gemini, the full moon in Libra this weekend does trine your sun, which is wonderful, because remember I said that gentle moon is in a peace-loving sign. And so there is the possibility now, Gemini, that you will be more attracted to people who want to compromise or who have some pretty good ideas about how to de-escalate a situation that could be very tense right now, and they may be offering suggestions that can be sort of peacemaking suggestions, and you would be open to listening to that right now. It could help you as well, Gemini, if you're involved in any kind of controversy. So I think things are going to calm down a little bit for you right now, and that your communication will be much better. It might be that you have some good, peace-loving, law-abiding people that are drawn to you as well and can help you out. So that should be good for you. Congratulations. Okay, what does it mean to a Cancer? Well, Cancer, yours is the 4th cardinal sign. And remember, I said the problem with this clash of wills is that it's coming from 7 planets that are in a harsh T-cross in cardinal signs. And so the full moon in Libra is squaring your sun sign. The Sun, Mercury, and Uranus in Aries are squaring your sun sign. And Mars, Saturn, and Pluto in Capricorn are opposing your sun sign. You have got to have the quietest week in your life coming up, Cancer, because you could easily get caught in the clash of wills, and you certainly will not win anything. You won't gain anything by that at all. So you need to not comment whatsoever about anything that people are saying. In other words, you have good opinions, but this is not the week to be talking about them, Cancer, because somebody is sure to attack you on them. And that's because there's too much acrimony. There's too many people with divergent viewpoints that are unwilling to do anything peaceful about it. And so I think that it's better for you to stand back and, if you could, instead count your money, Cancer, because Jupiter in Scorpio is trining your sun, so there should be more money coming to you. And also Neptune in Pisces is trining your sun, which means you may not have to make any comment this week, because you could know a lot more about what's going on behind the scenes than people think. So this is just a really good week to mind your own business and really keep your mouth closed if you can. It's for your own safety. Okay, what does it mean to a Leo? Well, Leo, you could certainly be contemplating an exciting new beginning, but I think you're going to have to revise that, or you need to check your facts a little more closely, Leo, and I urge you to do that, because you might end up changing your mind. And the reason why is that the Sun and Mercury, which is retrograde now, and Uranus in Aries are all trining your sun, which is just great. And the full moon in Libra this weekend is sextiling your sun. And so you could have your mind on partnership and peacemaking and compromise. That would be great, or somebody else could. That could increase cooperation. But even though these planets in Aries are trining your sun, you have got to reconsider some new start that you are thinking about making, Leo. And the reason why you need to carefully reconsider it and perhaps cancel it is because Venus has now moved into Taurus, a fixed financial sign, and it's very strong there, and it is squaring your sun. Jupiter in Scorpio, another fixed financial sign, is also squaring your sun. And that simply means, since these are very good planets and they are reinforced right now, that you have got to look at the money a little bit more closely. In other words, even if you had enough money to make a new start, Leo, what if something went wrong? What if you lost a little income? What if you ran into medical problems, or there was some sort of an accident that ate up your money a little bit more than you were planning on? Then you could get caught and maybe have to increase your debt. And so I think that there's something that you don't know about a new beginning because you haven't really added up all the costs. And it could be that there are hidden costs that you don't know about. That's why you need to reconsider it. and maybe revise it, because I can assure you at this point, particularly since Venus is at 0 degrees of Taurus, it's going to be squaring your sun for a long time, the whole time it's in Taurus, and Jupiter will be squaring your sun until November. And that means you cannot afford to make a new start right now. You really can't, either because there will be a potential loss of income which will hurt you, or because costs will be too high. And you would be much better to stay where you are and revise your plans, or postpone one new beginning. Maybe you could still make a new beginning, but it would have to be right where you are, because that would not incur as many costs as what you're thinking about now. You really cannot afford something new that you are considering, and that is why you need to check your facts more closely. Okay, what does it mean to a Virgo? Well, Virgo, this is a wonderful time for you. The full moon in Libra is right ahead of your sun sign, so you can see the potential for peace or partnership or a compromise of some sort, or just easier relationships. That would be great. And also, Venus in Taurus is trining your sun. Mars, Saturn, and Pluto in Capricorn are trining your sun, and those 4 planets in the earth signs are dominant right now, and they are in very harmonious aspect to your sun sign. So 2 things could be occurring soon, Virgo. One of them is that you could get very good news about an investment that is worth more than you thought it was, and so there could be some very good money coming your way, particularly if you're considering selling it. And then there is also the possibility that even if these people that are very determined to make more money and improve productivity at work and consolidate their power, even if that is their sole focus, it could benefit you, Virgo, because they would certainly want to include you in their plans. So that could be very good news too. So I think that you're going to be coming into a very lucrative time, either through your investments or through an enhanced ability to make more money on your job. Congratulations. Okay, what does it mean to a Libra? Well, Libra, the full moon is in your sign. Now remember, I said there aren't any other planets in any other air sign, so there's nothing supporting the full moon. But because there's so much light in your sign, Libra, people can certainly see you as a peace-loving person, someone who wants to be fair to people, and also somebody who doesn't have any hard edges on them, who can be conciliatory and want to uphold the letter of the law. And that's because that too would be fair. And so I think that even though you can be pummeled on all sides by other people who are involved in a clash of wills, I urge you to be as quiet as possible this week, Libra, because you have good things going for you. It's other people who can be rebellious or freedom-loving or really hard-hitting right now. So I think that you should stick to what you believe in right now, Libra, and maybe you should be a little bit quiet. Maybe back off a little bit this week and sort of wait for the clash to subside a little bit, and then continue on with your plans. The other idea that you could develop is that you could do what you want to do, but just don't tell anybody right now. Just proceed with as much quiet as you can and go forward anyway. Okay, what does it mean to a Scorpio? Well, Scorpio, this is a time when I think that you too can't afford what you've got your eyes on. In other words, Venus is in Taurus opposing your sun sign where you have Jupiter. And these 2 really wonderful planets are in fixed financial signs opposing each other, which is a harsh aspect. And that means, particularly since Venus is the ruler of Taurus, that you could have your eyes on something beautiful that is pretty pricey and could be of high quality and good value, and you cannot afford it. And the reason why you cannot afford it is that I don't think that you have enough money to actually cover all your costs related to it right now. And that is why I don't think you should go forward with making some sort of big outlay of money right now. You should wait till Venus gets out of Taurus. Maybe the price on something would come down by then, but you would be paying top dollar, and you might not have too much money left to improve some things or to fix some things. And that's why I don't think you really have enough to cover what you want right now, Scorpio. So instead, just gather more information about that you can get behind the scenes. Neptune in Pisces, which rules things behind the scenes, is trining your sun. Maybe you could find out more information about what you do want to purchase. And you know, that could help you when it does get time to buy. But this is not the right time to put your last dollar down on something, because then you would be shorting your reserves and you would still need your reserves. So that's why you need to hold off for now. Okay, what does it mean to a Sagittarian? Well, Sagittarius, this is a time when you too can be excited about a new beginning, because the Sun, Mercury, which is retrograde, and Uranus and Aries are all trining your sun sign. And the full moon in Libra is sextiling your sun sign. So the lights are sort of with you, a Sagittarius, and that can help you develop your own ideas about what you want to do. There are really very few planets in the mutable signs, and so you could move forward right now, Sagittarius. Other people are involved in a clash of wills. So if you suspect that there are some people around with strident viewpoints, maybe that are rebellious or freedom-loving, or who simply want to, hit pretty hard right now, you could duck around them if you wanted to, Sagittarius, and avoid them, and still be able to contemplate some serious endeavor that you've got your mind on. And that is because those 3 dominant planets in Capricorn are right ahead of your sun sign. But you better look before you leap, because with so many people in disagreement and unwilling to alter their viewpoints, how far could you get right now, Sagittarius? I don't think anybody can get too far right now. And so, you need to contemplate what you can do, but at least you don't have very many things really coming at you, Sagittarius. So keep a low profile, and that way you'll get through a rather tumultuous week, probably without any harm. Okay, what does it mean to a Capricorn? Well, Capricorn, this is a time when you can come on so strongly right now that that you could be undefeated. And so if you've got your mind on money or work or power, you could succeed at all of that. And the reason why is that Mars, Saturn, and Pluto are really powerful in your sun sign, and they are all being tried by Venus in Taurus. And so you could get your way right now if you just bulldozed ahead. But you may not have to do that, Capricorn. And besides, that would set up a clash of wills, and you would waste a lot of time having to listen to other people's arguments right now. Instead, why don't you just take advantage of the fact that Venus in Taurus is trining your sun, and more or less pursue a good investment. You may want to sell a good investment because it could be worth more. So I think what's really happening, if you're wise and you stay out of arguments this week, is that there can be some good money coming your way, Capricorn. And you should just concentrate on that. It's either coming through a very good investment that you've made, or there can be people that are interested in becoming involved with you, and they could be putting their money where their mouth is, or else you can meet people that are very financially secure. That would make you happy. And so I think you should just concentrate on something like that. You could have your mind on making some sort of a move to a nicer place, or to something that presents more culture or more charm, or something that is of high quality. And that's what I think you should concentrate on. Not getting in an argument with people who have divergent viewpoints, but instead pursuing something that is uplifting and would really make you happy. Besides, I think you can afford it, Capricorn. Okay, what does it mean to an Aquarian? Well, Aquarius, this is a time when I think that you can certainly benefit from the fact that the full moon in Libra is trining your sun. That's wonderful. That means that there could be a helpful partner headed your way, or somebody with good ideas about a compromise that could settle a legal affair. You'd be interested in that, and maybe you should pursue that a little bit more closely. And that is because I think that there is a financial problem that you have to solve, Aquarius. And the reason why is that, just like Leo, Venus in Taurus is squaring your sun, and Jupiter in Scorpio is squaring your sun. And these two wonderful planets are in harsh aspect to your sun sign, and they are in fixed financial signs. That means there is a financial problem that you've got to work on right now, Aquarius. It can be something that involves something very expensive or a lot of money. I mean, that could be the Venus in Taurus. Or it could involve bills or debts or loans, or even an inheritance or a grant or insurance proceeds. That's what Jupiter in Scorpio rules. But you do have to get that squared away, and this would be a good time to do it while you've got some support from that full moon in Libra. So if you wanted to reconcile a financial situation, the timing is pretty good for that, Aquarius. On the other hand, if you wanted to be freedom-loving or rebellious, you better remember that it's your ruler, Uranus, that is really caught up in this harsh T-cross of 7 planets in cardinal signs, and that could threaten you. So try not to argue this week. You don't have to, because you could get somebody else to help you out right now. Okay, what does it mean to a Pisces? Well, Pisces, this is simply a time when I think that you are not going to be bothered by anybody. So my advice to you this week, Pisces, is keep an extremely low profile, and you should stamp no comment across your forehead right now. And the reason why is that, yes, Neptune is in your sign, and it's being trine by Jupiter in Scorpio, but there are no planets in any of the other mutable signs. There is nothing squaring or opposing your sun sign. So you can get through a tumultuous week unscathed as long as you make no comment about anything. And so just be as quiet as you can. And even if someone asks you for your opinion, the answer is no comment this week, Pisces, because if you ask for trouble, you'll get it. There's going to be plenty of that around, but you don't need to. All right. Thanks so much for tuning in. Remember, you can see our show and hear our podcast and read our blog on our website, starborninstitute.org. Bye.